What's going on, guys? It's Jose from Bait and Boujee, and I'm going to give you all a few tips to improve your drop shot off the bank during the fall-winter transition. During the winter months when it's colder, fish are a little bit deeper. They're also a little bit lethargic. They're a little bit slower, and they're not very aggressive at times. So it takes a little bit more caution, a little bit more patience to get those fish to really bite. So I'm going to assume already you have the basics down for doing the drop shot, and you already have a drop shot ready setup, but I'll just go over what I currently use. What I use is a 7-foot medium power fast action rod. So it's got the fast tip for that great sensitivity, but it's got enough backbone for when I lift up to set the hook. A medium light is just fine, and as far as length of the rod, that all comes down to personal preference. As far as a reel, I have a KastKing Sharky 3000. A 3000 series is definitely as big as you want to go. You would honestly be just fine with the 2500 series, but I use a 3000 because I use this setup for more things than just a dedicated drop shot setup. As far as line, I have a 20-pound superpower braid on here, and it does an excellent job. I like using braid for a lot of finesse techniques, not simply because of the power, but because there's zero stretch. So I'm able to feel those little hits, those little strikes, those little nibbles that the bass might be doing. As far as a leader, I don't go anything over 8-pound test. I normally use 6-pound, 8-pound if I have, just normally whatever I got laying around. And as far as the knot, I use a double uni knot. For me, it's the easiest. So right here we have the basic components of the drop shot. We have our hook, and we have our weights that are attached to the leader. So of course with this, you're going to tie a polymer knot. The polymer knot, if your hook's twisted or it's facing down, all you do is take that tag end, push it right through, and wring it out the bottom. And so when it stands, it should stand straight up, just like that. So when I've got this line tight, that bait's hanging there, it should be right side up, just like that. Here are the different weights. You have your cylinder style weight, and you have your teardrop style drop shot weight. So this one's great if there's a lot of grass and stuff like that, but for pond bottoms, especially when you're going to try a little deeper where the fish are going to be at when it's cold, this is definitely the one to use, simply because it doesn't have that added length, and you'll be able to get the bait a little bit deeper. And of course, placing that on the bottom end of the hook on your leader, all you're going to do is put it through, just like that. And there. Now, if you're tired of losing your weights constantly, if every time you're stuck and you yank on it real hard, this thing pops off, I'll give you a little tip. Pull a little bit more through and just tie a small square knot right here at the top. That square knot is going to have enough tightness so that every time this little weight gets stuck, it's not going to just fall off. But at the same time, if you do get it caught and you need to yank this out, the weight is going to slip out, and you won't lose your hook and your entire leader. When using a bait during the fall to winter transition, you want to use something with a lot of action. So a larger creature bait and stuff like that on your drop shot, that's not going to be the one for you. So I recommend a trick style worm, something like that is going to give you a lot of action. Also, when fishing, as you have it hooked up, one thing you're going to want to do is do this nice and slow on the retrieval. because I can guarantee you what a lot of you are doing is going too fast retrieving this back. So while that weight, you're not hopping it, you're just dragging this across the bottom while this is flowing here. You're also going to want to dead stick it. Dead sticking it is keeping a tight line while this stays there. And even though this is there, the movement in your wrist, the movement in the water is going to keep this bait moving. And I'll cut to a video, and you'll see in this video right here, I get a hit while I'm dead sticking it. Because remember, the fish are not aggressive, so they're not going to actively go after that bait. Especially right now, if you're going to drag that thing really fast across the bottom, they're not going to come after it. So try dead sticking it. Really slow, really get that movement. Entice that fish to come after it, especially in those deep, deep pockets where the fish are going to be hanging out inside the ponds. So I hope you found this video informative. Remember, when it's colder like this and you're fishing off the bank, the fish are not going to be in their usual hiding spots, especially if they're shallow. Look for kind of where the water starts to get a little bit deeper in those deep pockets, and that's where they're going to be at. Take it low, slow. Remember to dead stick it. Slightly bring it in when setting the hook. Just lift up and reel it in. And I hope you go out there and catch some more fish. Also remember one more thing. Drop shotting is not just for when the bite's tough. Even when the bite is on, drop shotting is an effective way to catch those fish. So if you like this video, hit that like, hit the subscribe down below. I appreciate you, so let's get it.